Okay.
So, are either of you doing any branding? I mean, or do you have an established brand? Have you set aside an established brand, or what would you like your brand to look like? Or have you even thought about a brand?
Um, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't know that I have a brand as much as I have consistent marketing things, if that's the right thing. I send out anniversary cards. I've done it every year since I was licensed.
Great. I mean, anniversary cards of purchase or anniversary cards for someone's anniversary or
Purchase.
purchase. Okay.
Yeah, happy fifth anniversary. I can't believe and in the house 5 years, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And
Great. Do you still do a newsletter?
not anymore.
Okay.
I burnt out and I got
Yeah.
rid of the farm area that I was sending it to. So now it's just my circle of influence.
Right. Which still a newsletter is still really valid for that. I mean, Prospects Plus is a great tool to be able to use to do a newsletter and take a lot of the weight off of you.
Yes.
So, Yasmin, have you thought about a brand at all that you might be interested in?
Um, um, now let me think.
So while you're thinking about that for a second, I did put in a workbook into the chat. It's just a kind of a step by step on evaluating what your current brand might be, and then hoping to get you to think about things that you can do to enhance your brand or to change your brand image. So just like any major corporation, you're really a company. So you want to be able to have people think of you whenever they see a certain image or a feel. Um, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You want people to be able to acknowledge who you are fairly easily or recognize you fairly easy to be able to pass your name along. Bonnie's done a great job of that because she's accumulated her center of influence and really kind of keeps in touch with her center of influence through things like anniversary cards. Um, she's also working now on children and grandchildren of people that she sold houses to.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, being a realtor for life is one a business, but also two, it can be if you do it right, it can be a positive thing. Yasmin, you've got some great. Did you look into any more of the connection or any more of the marketing through your church that we kind of talked about, or?
Yes, I was talking with the pastor, um, and I am a sponsor a little
Ah,
kit for the summer camp.
oh, very
So
nice.
yes, I'm trying, but you know that there are at church. She said there are many realtors here. So I said, well, I am one more, but I'm going to sport this kid. So I'm doing that. And I joined a couple of groups, like Bible study groups and all that stuff. And I am giving them food for the meetings. So I am buying that things and putting there that I am a realtor. So everybody remember every time that they go to the meeting that I am a realtor. This is what I'm doing now.
I think that's great because it's a start to get your name out and to kind of connect with different individuals you have a common connection with. And that's kind of, I think, where we need to start looking when it comes to our brand. We need to take our brand to a psychographic level rather than either a demographic or geographic. Like Bonnie had said, she'd gotten rid of her farm area. In many ways, I think that's probably a good thing. Brett is great at creating a presence in his farm area, if you will. So he farms where he lives and has done a great job of developing a persona and an awareness of him as a realtor in his Bartram Springs area. But that doesn't happen for a lot of people for exactly the same reason that Yasmin just mentioned. In many areas, there are a bunch of different realtors. The chance, there's always an opportunity, even when there's a bunch of realtors, but what you're doing at your church is so much different than any of the other realtors are doing. You're reaching out to the pastor, you're sponsoring a child, you're bringing food to an organization or to a meeting so that people start to see you as the realtor of choice because you have a presence. The
Yeah.
next step would be for you to kind of create a maybe do a buyer seminar or a seller seminar through the church that maybe that you could sponsor at the church, that there could be a benefit to the church also. Maybe you do a sponsor with a clothing drive, or a buyer seller seminar with a clothing drive, or a buyer seller seminar with a food pantry drive, or one of the other entities that helps support the church. That'll help get more people in.
Oh, yeah.
But so
That is
that's
a
great.
good idea.
But so where that needs to go is you're starting to generate this grassroots element. Bonnie's working to kind of work with her tried and true connections, which is fantastic. Hold on one second. I just saw the door open. No, I guess not. I lied. Oh no. Hello? One second.
What do you want to
Oh,
do?
hey,
You wanna
Linda.
go out? You want to go out?
So that's the other piece of it is, trying to create and generate that interest. So that the branding piece that I sent over is something I'd like to maybe, since there's just the two of you on here, I'd like to maybe go ahead and leave you with this and see if I could reconnect with each of you in maybe a week to see how this came together for you. So you've got things that you need to evaluate about your current brand, some questions that you want to be asking yourself, identifying your target, which is good. Think psychographically about your target. You can add some demographics to it, but think about people that you have something in common with. So think about people that that you want to connect with in order to do your business. So
When you say, Clark, that
I'm sorry you blanked out, Yasmin. When I say what, please?
connection,
What? Can you repeat that, please? You blanked out.
what is that true connection? How you build that true connection?
When I say the true connection, you have somebody with a true connection with?
Yes, yes. How you build that true connection?
How do you build it, or how do you identify?
Yes, how you build that true connection and how you find that true connection.
Exactly what you're doing with your church.
Okay.
So when we talk about psychographics, we're talking about people that we have something in common with other than just an age or where they live. Psychographics break all boundaries of age, demographics, economics. Psychographics are people that you have stuff in common with. So you're involved in your church. So your base may be people who have a strong faith, people who you go to church with, people who you're involved with in a Bible study, because those people, while they may all go to the same church, they don't all live in the same area, correct?
Yes, yes, that is true.
So someone may live in a very affluent neighborhood, someone may live in a very moderate neighborhood, right? And it doesn't matter because you connect with them in a different way. There are all sorts of different ways you can connect with people. So like people that I connect with are usually foodies because we like to go to restaurants or try new things. People are interested in travel. You're a big traveler also. Well, actually, both of you are. Travel could be something. It could be a sport and something that you do, athletics that you do. So something like that could be an opportunity for connection. But it's more people that you have, more focusing on people you would have a connection with related to something you enjoy doing. Because if you're doing you don't always want it to be about real estate. You want to be able to break these groups up and say maybe you have your faith-based customers and you have your travel-based customers. So then you're looking for articles or you're looking for tips related to your faith or your travel, and then you send them specifically, that group, a notice when you find an article or you find a special tip. You send those out to that group, but those two groups become one larger group, that when you have something going in real estate, you send them information on that, or you send them information about the market in general, or you send them information on key changes that are occurring, or maybe you send the full group things that are going to apply to all of them, but you find specifics to stay in front of the groups as an interest level or at their interest level. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I mean, Bonnie's worked in real estate long enough to be able to have a referral base. So she focuses on the people that she's worked with and getting referrals out to other individuals, so that it makes sense. That's how she's kind of hitting that rock in the pond, is that ripple effect is not just people that she not necessarily going out and trying to generate new business, but using the business that she's had and trying to make that work for her. Is that an accurate statement, Bonnie?
Yeah, it's an accurate statement. And the other thing that sort of happened, it wasn't planned. It just happened, is focusing on first-time buyers.
Mm,
So now those first-time buyers have kids who are buying houses. And so, but that, I found that to be, I admit I did not work it as hard as I could have, but no matter really what happened with the market, those first-time buyers were still there because there was always down payment assistance money. There was always money for them. So
sure.
in my experience living in Jacksonville and being near the base, where you had, an ongoing population of first-time buyers, that's what worked for me. And again, I didn't work it as hard as I could have, but here we are X number of years later. And so I would suggest, if Yasmin, if you're looking for a suggestion, I would suggest something like that.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that is a good idea.
Well, but the good thing about what Jasmine's base is looking at is, if she's going to her church to look at kind of staying active in something that's of interest to her and that means a lot to her, she's also looking at being able to, you can then break it out. You can break those groups out. So if it's your Bible study group, you might be able to find people within the Bible study group who are first-time home buyers. If you're, obviously you're sponsoring a child, the parents of that child, children have heavy influences on their parents.
Yeah.
When it comes to real estate. So being able to connect with that child or that child's family, maybe, and helping them understand what it means to be a first-time home buyer, what programs are out there for them. Remember, we have the in MLS, there's the down payment assistance program, that every home that's in MLS, you can click on down payment assistance under more, I think on the right-hand side, or it might be on the main toolbar. But that will tell you all programs that apply for that property, where someone who's interested in buying that property can get assistance in that purchase. So, I mean, that's definitely a way to be able to talk to a customer base and let them know that there's opportunities for them. Even just talking about the Hometown Heroes program.
Yes, I guess that always I need to bring something that is about real estate every single time that we are together. If I am in my church, I need to talk about something in real estate, because I guess that, I don't know why, but it's just my feeling that the people is just you need to tell them all the time to make they remember, because this is really, really hard. For example, in my church, that there are too many realtors. So is you are not special there, you know, because there are too many. So it doesn't matter what you do, there are a lot of people there.
So
Um,
do you know that there are a lot of realtors there? I know the pastor told you that, but do you know
yeah,
all the people that are realtors?
no, I know just two there, but the pastor told me that there are a lot. So it's like,
So you can use that to your advantage if you go from first, I agree with you that you need to have something almost every time that reminds people that you're in real estate and a realtor. I think that, when you bring the food to the meeting, having a little flyer there that either shows, maybe 4 houses that are available currently is just a reminder, or you put together one of the Domus Analytics infographics and print it out and just have it there so people can see what's going on with the market. You don't have to push it in their face, but leave it there so they can see it. Being able to say,
yeah.
I wanted to thank you for allowing me to bring the food, and I just wanted to remind you that I'm a realtor with Legends of Real Estate, and I'm here to help if you have a real estate need, is enough to be able to say to remind them
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
you're in real estate. But you can also use it to your advantage. If you come from a place of abundance rather than a place of scarcity, you could be the caveat that brings some of these realtors together and say, great, we're all here. We all want to serve our community. We all are participating in our church. And so what if we as a group did a buyer seminar to help our community invest in home ownership? You could bring them all together. Then you're the person that does that. You're the center of all that. There's plenty to go around. Someone's going to use you and not one of the other people. Someone's going to use them and not you. So why not make it an opportunity for everybody to gain from it?
Yes, that's a good idea too.
So it could be a chance to really kind of get everybody on to create another networking element for you also.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that, when you have a listing, you give it to those realtors and say, hey, I'm giving this to you first, or, we're active in the market and I'm giving this to you. We just hit the market today and I wanted you to know about it first. Something
Yes,
like
that
that.
is a good idea.
So we can, so don't worry about the fact that there are a lot of realtors there. There are a lot of realtors and a cup of coffee. So, you may as well take it and use it to your advantage, especially if you come from a place of abundance for it. So,
Clark, can I add something to that?
yeah.
This from my daughter-in-law, and she's a realtor as
Yeah.
well. When she first got back into residential real estate, she served more as a resource person. So if
Great
somebody said they needed a plumber, she had a list of plumbers or craftsmen, whatever it was, and mentioned, she would say, listen, I'm a realtor. Let me recommend some plumbers. So she became a resource person first. She didn't go after the sale. She went over the relationship. And she has done extremely well. But that's how she started. I mean, she deliberately did that, which set her apart from the, other 1,000 real estate agents that were in that small market. And it worked.
Sure,
But
absolutely.
Bonnie, I lost the connection and I didn't hear what she did. Could you repeat for me, please? I'm
Sure.
sorry.
She moved into an area where she didn't know anybody. Her background was real estate, but she was more commercial. So she moves into this small community that has a lot of realtors, and she decided, getting into residential, that she was going to start off as a resource person. So, when somebody said they needed a plumber, she would say, look, I'm a real estate agent, but let me give you the names of plumbers. And she would mention what she did, but she would not start that conversation or relationship trying to get the listing, but she became a valuable resource person in that community. So
Oh,
people would call her and say, hey, I hear you told my friend you could recommend a plumber or whatever it was. And that was sort of how she built her business. And she is phenomenally successful. But
mm,
that's how she started. She didn't start going out after the business. She
Yeah.
started out providing a service.
Yeah, that is good too. Yes, and she always say the first thing is, "I am a realtor. I'm going to help you to
Well,
find
she
what you
would, I
need."
mean, that
So
would
that's
go into
good.
the conversation. She might give the name, of the plumber, but say, I had a client or I had a buyer or, get it in there in the conversation. But the first thing she did is she provided the information that they were asking her about.
Oh, okay.
And then as the conversation progressed, she would, talk about the fact that, yeah, she has
Mhm.
this information because. And yeah, and it worked for her.
Thank you, Bonnie. That is a good idea too.
And Clark, can I add one other thing?
Of course, that's why we're here.
None of it's instant. None of it. Absolutely none of it. You're gonna, bust your butt with a great idea, but it's not going to open the floodgates for business. And I think that that's what a lot of people find particularly frustrating.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
I think that's a great point because even like can both of you see the branding booklet, the personal branding
I
book?
see that I haven't opened it yet, but yeah,
Right.
I can see it.
Yasmin, can you see it
No, where is it?
in the chat?
Let me see.
I
I
just sent
just
it again.
opened it.
Okay.
Should be in there twice.
Your personal branding. Okay, yes, I can see it.
So what you'll see in there is part of the questioning and part of the development is, are you consistent? So just like Bonnie is saying, she's consistent with her anniversary cards, but it's been
Mm-hmm.
over time that she's done that. Being consistent at your church or being consistent in a group that you participate in, or, like a tennis club or whatever, is really, really important to be
Yeah.
consistent in what you do. Don't let nothing happening immediately deter you from continuing to do what you do.
It's very frustrating when you know that I have been with them for long term, and then one day one lady came and say, "Oh, I want to invite you to my new house."
Yeah.
And she knows that I am a realtor and we have been in the group and all that stuff. So it's like, oh, what's happening here? Why
Yeah.
you didn't say anything about that before? I could help you, but it is.
Did you ask her that?
No, I didn't. I didn't. But
It's a really good, when that happens, it's a really good opportunity to get some feedback. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I'm so glad you've become a homeowner. You remember that I'm a realtor, right? Oh, great.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I would like to know is, could I have done something better to maybe have earned your business versus where you went? And what you may find is it was a sister-in-law or a brother-in-law or a relative or something that they, kind of had to use, for lack of a better term. So you went for the back,
Yeah.
or maybe you say, great, I would love to learn about the experience you had with your realtor so I can improve my business.
Uh-huh.
Can we
Yeah.
go to coffee and I'd just like to ask you 3 questions about your experience?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but then what that does is it reinforces in their head that you're a realtor.
Yes.
Oh,
And then they refer somebody else to you.
right. Yeah. So,
Well, there are a lot of things to do.
yeah. It seems to be getting crazy here, and I'm sorry. I think what we're going to need to do is, if you could print out the personal branding brochure, please, the workbook.
Sure.
Yes,
I'd
I
like
will.
to connect with the two of you separately and see how that goes and hear some of the answers to the questions in there to see if we can get you started on doing some consistent branding And then how you take that branding into your marketing, that would be what we would want to look at next.
Thank you, Clark.
Okay, and Clark, before we go, you had mentioned at a breakfast about an ad in the Resident. And has there been any follow-up about that? Is that lost? Are we gonna do
It's-
it?
It's not lost. We would still like to do it. It's just getting enough people to do it where it makes sense.
Okay,
Still get you on the list. I'll reach out and see if there's anybody else who would be willing to
okay.
do some sort of a
Bec-
consistent ad. And that was
Because,
2 months
yeah,
ago.
I got rid of my farm, but my farm is covered by the Resident. So if my name and picture are in there, somebody's gonna read the Resident and say, oh, she's still in the business.
Yeah, I think it's true.
Yeah, there's sticking power to that ad.
I agree. I agree. If nothing else, maybe you and I can do an ad or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
Clark.
apologize to cut it short. It's just getting crazy. For some reason, it seems to be a busy morning here.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, we'll talk
It's
later.
okay. Thank you,
All right.
Claire.
See you
Have a
later.
good
Thanks,
day.
Bo. You too.
Thanks,
Bye.
Clark.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.